TheNekoMimiGamer plays!
Hey, I'm Peeps, I'm the TheNekoMimiGamer, and by request, I am playing Nancy Drew's Secret of the Old Clock. Now, this is a Nancy Drew game that's unique in that it's actually based on two of the Nancy Drew novels by Carolyn Keene. It's pretty much a mishmash between this original Secret of the Old Clock, which was the first book of the series, and book number 4, which was The Mystery of Lilac Inn. So, let's see what we have, shall we?
Welcome to my latest case, The Secret of the Old Clock. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, click on Tutorials.
The year, 1930. The place, the road to Titusville, where we find Nancy Drew behind the wheel of her blue roadster, pondering this question. Why did Emily Crandall, a girl whom Nancy knows only through their mutual friend Helen Corning, ask Nancy to drive all the way out to the Lilac Inn to see her? Does it have something to do with the fact that Emily's mother died barely a month earlier, leaving Emily to run the restaurant with only her guardian to help her? And more important, why, when she called, did Emily sound so desperate? The spunky teenager turns off the main road, blissfully unaware that Emily isn't all that waits her at the end of the driveway. No, Nancy Drew is about to get her first taste of the mystery, intrigue, and adventure that are to become her destiny.
And thank you for summing all of that up, Mr. Announcer. Your hard work is always appreciated. And I think There, jeez. Hey, kitty! Wonder who carved that there. Maybe a little girl. That dress is ugly!
Hello. I'll bet my bloomers you're Nancy Drew.
That's right. Are you Emily's guardian?
You got it. I'm Jane Willoughby. I'm Emily's guardian, but only for the next 3 months until she turns 18. Then she's on her own.
It smells like someone's been baking pies.
Pies are the Lilac Inn specialty. We get orders from all over. Oh, that reminds me, your father called. You're supposed to call him. You can use the coin phone on the porch. Emily didn't say anything about you coming until just this morning.
Is it okay that I'm here?
Don't get me wrong, she can invite anybody here she wants. It's just that she's gotten so darn forgetful lately.
Maybe she's just, still thinking about her mom.
She misses her mom, that's for sure. So do I. Gloria and me, we were best friends, you know? The two of us ran this swell little dress shop over in Capital City. But then she got hitched and I didn't. And the next thing I know, she's writing me saying it would sure take a load off her mind if I could take care of her little girl should something ever happen to her.
Emily's father?
Died in the war. Cantigny, I think. Anyway, I couldn't say no. I mean, what are best friends for? I just wish I knew how to help Emily.
You make it sound like she's in some kind of trouble.
She's been acting so... Look, go talk to her. She probably just needs to spend some time with a bear cat like you instead of some dumb Dora like me. Go on up, she's in her room. Just make like a Boy Scout and be prepared.
I love how she calls me a bear cat and tells me to make like a Boy Scout and be prepared because, I came with a bunch of friends who are guys and like 70, maybe 80% of them are gay. So they all refer to me as the boy chick of the group.
Nancy, hi. Welcome to the Lilac Inn. Oh, and before I forget, thank you for that nice note you sent me when Mom died. It meant a lot to me.
Well, I lost my mom too, years ago. I kind of know how you feel.
You and I may not be best friends or anything, but you're still one of the nicest people I know.
Well, thank you.
That's why I'm hoping you'll do me a favor. A big favor. You and your dad.
What kind of favor?
Shh!
What?
What's wrong?
I thought I heard something. Your father has a safe, right?
This is 1930. Lots of people have safes.
See this jewelry? I'd like you to take it home with you and put it in your father's safe.
It's beautiful.
It was my mother's. The few times I saw her wear it, she looked just like a movie star. I was hiding it here in my room, but all things considered, I'd feel a lot better if you would just take it home and have your father lock it up in his safe.
What about your guardian? Can't she take care of it?
Oh, I don't want her to know I'm doing this, so don't tell her, all right? See, strange things have been going on around here. That's all I can say. I know it sounds loony, and Jane probably told you that I've been acting loony, but please do this for me. What was that?
Emily, come downstairs, quick! The kitchen's on fire!
Come on, we better get out of here.
I love that dress.
This is horrible, just horrible. The fire chief says the stove was completely destroyed and there's smoke damage everywhere. The inn will have to shut down for months, maybe even for good.
How awful.
Does he know what caused the explosion?
It looked to him like one of the burners on the stove had been left on. The flame either went out or was never lit, but anyway, something made a spark and boom. He said insurance companies are very reluctant to pay out when things look hinky, and that's when times are good.
Where did Emily go? She was right here.
Emily was the last person to use the stove. Like I said, she's been real forgetful lately. I think she's pretty upset. But it's not her fault. What with her mom passing away barely a month ago, and me showing up, this total stranger who doesn't know the first thing about kids or running a restaurant, and her trying to do everything all by herself. It's just too much, that's all. Who wouldn't go a little off their nut? I better get that. The line to the regular phone got burned up in the fire, so now the only phone we got is the coin phone on the porch. Excuse me.
Emily?
Uh-oh. Shoot, 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 shoot! Run like a bun, Nancy!
My mother's jewelry! It's gone! Someone must have stolen it while we were all downstairs. I knew something like this was going to happen. I just knew it.
You mean this sort of thing has happened before?
Yes. No. I'd rather not say, but I will say this. I did not leave the stove on. That fire was not my fault. Oh, what am I going to do? Without that jewelry, I don't have a prayer of paying for a new stove, and without a stove, I'll have to sell the inn, and if I lose the inn... I wish Mom were still here. I wish Josiah Crowley had left us the money like he always said he was going to. That's what I wish.
Who's Josiah Crowley?
He was this old man that lived next door. He died last year. He spent most of his time here at the inn, and he led my mom and me to believe that he'd left a lot of money for us in his will. He gave us a clock, and afterwards, he'd always point to it and get this little twinkle in his eye and say, "Time will tell." But when they finally found his will, he didn't leave us a penny.
Maybe he didn't leave you anything because he didn't have anything.
Oh, he didn't act like it, but he was rich. His estate was worth almost $250,000.
Hold it.
Richard Topham. He's this man who claims to be able to help people develop their paranormal powers.
Before I continue, let me just say, back in 1930, $250,000 was worth a lot. Those of you kids out there, learn from your history. Due to inflation, the worth of $1 has gone way down. The worth of $1 back in 1930 is like 10 times the amount it is today.
How did Josiah Crowley know him?
Josiah was kind of a screwball. One time he showed up at my birthday party dressed as my great-aunt Harriet. I didn't know it was really him until 2 days later. Anyway, he had all these weird hobbies, and he always thought it would be really keen to read minds. Josiah invited Richard Topham to move in so Topham could help him develop his paranormal powers right there in his house. Josiah was a sweet old man, and I do miss him. And he was free to give his money to whomever he wanted. But to get our hopes up like that, and then leave us nothing, it just wasn't like him.
Where is Richard Topham now?
He still lives in Josiah's house, which is right down the path out back. His house and the inn were built at the same time by two brothers during the Civil War.
Was your mother's jewelry insured?
Gosh, I forgot about that. I don't know. Jim Archer, I bet he'd know. He's our banker. I guess I should go talk to him.
Not one of your favorite people, huh?
Oh no, Mr. Archer's very nice. I mean, for a stuffy old banker. I'm just so bad at business things. And Jane, my guardian, she tries hard, but she's no
left
good
eye
at it
kinda
either.
hurts.
Maybe you could go talk to him. Please? It would be such a big help.
Sure.
He runs the Main Street Bank. You can't miss it. I'll call him and tell him you're coming.
How many people knew you kept your mother's jewelry in here?
No one. Well, Jane, my guardian, she knew, but I didn't tell anyone else.
Suspicious.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Don't forget to call your father.
Oh, right. I still have to do that. I kinda wanna... Omar. Read this and pretty soon this fella will be your favorite poet too. Your pal, Josiah. I can read those another time, when I'm off screen. Wonder if I'll need that later. Nice sewing machine. I actually have one of those sewing machines. Hasn't been used in centuries. Okay, not really centuries, but maybe a century.
So, is Emily all right?
Someone stole her mother's jewelry.
What?
Did you happen to see anyone go upstairs during all the commotion that the fire caused?
No. You mean someone stole it while everybody was rushing around trying to put out the fire? Hypers! If you can't trust a fireman, who can you trust?
Are you sure no one besides you and Emily was in the kitchen this morning?
Positive. Well, I suppose someone could have snuck in the back door. Are you saying someone caused that fire on purpose? To distract us?
It's possible, don't you think?
But I'm the only one who knew she had that jewelry. Well, it's not quite true. When Gloria was alive, she could have told people about it, or people may have seen her wearing it. And when she died, they knew the jewelry had to be around here somewhere, right?
Does anyone in particular come to mind?
Sorry. It's been hard enough getting to know Emily, let alone anyone else in this backwater burg. Well, guess better go call the sheriff.
Is that your car I saw when I drove up the driveway?
My old rust bucket's parked out back where nobody'll see it. Be nice to buy something decent, but last time I checked, my last name was Willoughby, not Rockefeller.
Rockefeller was the name of the guy that started the first oil monopoly.
Well, I'll talk to you later.
Don't take any wooden nickels.
Or nickels with strains attached to them. That's very important. Probably some interesting stuff here. How about sign language? Hey! There's the cat we saw earlier! Huh? Ooh.
Looks like I need to get the bird from one side to the other. Wonder what this mirror's doing in here.
Pretty. That explains the coin purse. We had to actually pay to use things. That's it. That's the only prize. What even was the point of that? Before I do anything else,
Drop a nickel into the slot, please. There we go. Now, how may I be of service?
I'd like to talk to Carson Drew. His number is KL57187.
Hang on a minute.
Carson Drew speaking.
I forgot
Hi,
I'm not wearing
Dad.
a watch.
Well, I see you got to Titusville okay.
I got your message. Is something wrong?
No, everything's fine. I need to get some documents from a colleague over there. I thought since you were in the area, you could pick them up, save him paying postage.
Sure. What's the address?
He said he'd just leave them for you at the telegraph office. Just drive into town and look for Tubby Telegrams. He said you can't miss it.
Will do.
These papers are extremely important, Nancy.
I
I'll
will
pick them up,
Dad.
Dad.
Good. Remember, watch your gas gauge and get gas when you're low so you don't run out. And try to avoid potholes. The more you hit, the likely it is you'll wind up with a flat.
Yes, Dad.
And if you do get a flat, take it off and put on your spare, and then head straight to a gas station and get it fixed.
Yes, Dad.
Common
All
knowledge
right,
about
let's show over.
driving.
Have you found out why Miss Crandall asked you to visit?
She wanted me to have you lock her mother's jewelry up in your safe. Only someone stole it before I could take it with me.
Stole it? Good gosh.
That was right after the stove in the kitchen exploded.
The stove exploded? Sounds to me like you'd be well advised to cut your visit there short.
No, I want to find out what's going on. I have to find out what's going on.
You have to?
Well, yeah, you know. Emily just lost her mom, and she's worried about losing the inn, and her guardian's all wet when it comes to helping out, and...
And the truth is, you are so curious that you feel like you'll absolutely burst if you don't find out why all these weird things have been happening, right?
Yes.
Don't worry, I know the feeling. You're a chip off the old block, I'm afraid. Well, as long as you're like me in one other way, you should be fine.
What way is that? Smart?
Careful.
If somebody says they're going to leave you something in their will and then doesn't, is there anything you can do about it?
Not a thing. Whatever's in writing is the only thing that counts, unless, of course, the will was tampered with or forged, and you can prove it. If not, you're out of luck. Why do you ask?
Emily's neighbor, Josiah Crowley, told her and her mom that they were going to inherit part of his estate. But when he died, his will left everything to this ESP expert named Richard Topham.
That's too bad, but this Crowley fellow was free to leave whatever he wanted to whomever he wanted, I'm afraid. People do change their minds, you know.
Goodbye, Dad.
See you tonight.
I did not want to click that. Shoot! And we have a task list.
Check. I'm finished with that.
And I still have to do these two. Oh, I don't need to do that.
Got it. Looks like someone recently had a key appraised.
Ooh! Illuminati confirmed! Dun dun dun!
Over here, Miss Drew. Find the toy mouse and give it to Yuri, would you please? Otherwise, he'll just keep meowing. He hates strangers.
Alright, kitty, I'll find your mouse. Here's the mouse. Here, kitty, kitty. Here you go, kitty. if the game has us do that.
How nice of you to drop by. And thank you for walking instead of parking in the driveway. I'm expecting a pupil. I'd hate for her to have to park on the road.
Mr. Topham?
Richard Topham at your service.
What were you doing just now?
I was in the process of trying to make these spoons move by using nothing but my own psychic energy. Have you ever focused sunlight through a magnifying glass until it was a minute yet searing point of light, Miss Drew?
Yeah, I guess.
I actually have tried that with
You
a
see,
candle.
that's what I do with my cerebral emanations, my thoughts. I focus them until they're a beam of pure energy which ultimately disrupts and transforms the molecular force field surrounding the target object.
Is that what you teach people in your school? How to beam their thoughts?
I take them through exercises designed to help them increase their output of phantasmic energy. If you want to sign up for an introductory session, I believe I have an opening today.
What I'd really like to do is talk about Josiah Crowley.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm busy, young lady, far too busy to engage in idle conversation.
When would be a good time for me to come back?
I'll be blunt, Miss Drew. I've discovered that the more time I spend with the, shall we say, intellectually unendowed, the more my cerebral pulsations seem to diminish. I'm afraid I cannot speak to you further unless and until you prove that you are worthy. That is, that your brainwaves are not unacceptably inferior and thus deleterious to mine.
My brainwaves are just fine, Mr. Topham.
What I have here is an exercise in logic. If you can discern the correct solution, then I'll know that conversing with you will do me no psychic harm. You may take it with you. Good luck and good day.
He pretty much just tried to call Nancy stupid. I did these logic puzzles all the time when I was in school because, like, the day before we got off for winter break or spring break, the teachers always gave us little things like these instead of actual assignments, just to do a little fun activity to get us hyped for the vacation. Let's see, this one is all wet.
That looks right.
Obvious. Doll up.
Am I smart or what?
Double cross.
I'm getting there.
Dry up.
That looks right.
Big cheese.
Am I smart or what?
That's it?
Am I to assume that you have the correct solution to that logic problem?
Right here.
Let's have a look.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it!
Why, you appear to have indeed found the solution. Well,
Jerk.
since you've proved yourself to be intellectually above average, which means talking to you should do me no harm, what would you like to talk about?
Just what does the word paranormal mean, anyway?
The paranormal includes telepathy or communicating by sending and receiving thoughts, extrasensory perception or perceiving that which cannot physically be seen or heard, and psychokinesis, using one's psychic energy to reshape or move objects.
When and how did you meet Josiah Crowley?
Last summer, while on my way to the university for a conference, I stopped for a bite at the Lilac Inn. Since it was crowded and I was in a hurry, I agreed to share a table with an elderly gentleman who, like me, was by himself. As soon as I told Mr. Crowley who I was and what I did, well, he insisted that I give him a training session that very afternoon, and was so thrilled with his progress that he demanded I stay and teach him everything I knew.
So it was his idea that you set up your school in his house?
Oh, I know rumor has it that I somehow tricked him into it, that I insinuated my way into his home, but I assure you that was not the case.
Were you surprised when you found out that Josiah had left you everything?
Delighted? Yes. Surprised? Not really. Josiah was all alone, you see, surrounded by people like the Crandalls and that banker, Jim Archer, people who were nice to him only because they knew he had money.
Honey!
Did you hear about the explosion and fire at the Lilac Inn this morning?
I heard the explosion and fire. Ruined my 9 o'clock session.
So you were with a customer when it happened?
Pupil. I was with a pupil. I run a school, not a vegetable stand, and yes, I was. Until I dismissed her 20 minutes early. All the ruckus made concentration impossible.
Do you eat at the inn very often?
Not anymore. You see, the fact that Josiah left everything to me made some people around here, including Emily and now this Jane Willoughby, very bitter. It hurts me, of course, but it's human nature, I suppose.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Go right ahead. The place is more like a museum than a house. Josiah was a man of many, many interests. I'll be right here if you have any questions.
I don't think I'll have any more questions for you. At least
Was this
not too
Josiah's
soon.
clock?
Everything in here was Josiah's.
A match game. There we go. Another mirror. A pretty kitty.
As you'll soon realize, Josiah's mental faculties were starting to go, I'm afraid. He tended to ramble. Very little of what he wrote in there makes sense.
What are you when you win barred bounce? What poet is the cat's meow? What will Para, my miniature golf course, get you? What's Gloria's middle name?
Well, Bard Bounce. That was the name of that little mini-game I played earlier. It just gave me the thing Keen. That must be what it's looking for. Okay. Oh! Protected by a password. What poet is the cat's meow? Oh. He gave Gloria that book of poems by Omar. I'll have to find out the other two later.
Becoder is in the rivet. 2 to the right.
Maybe that's a letter decipher. Let's see. 2 letters to the right of B is D, decoder. And R is T. Decoder's in the trivet. Trivet. What's a trivet? Tesla coil. There's a Tesla coil featured in Nancy Drew the Deadly Device. Unfortunately, I do not have that game. To open the big TikTok on top, give Flute, Thisbe, and Pyramus their cues. Autumn's cue is in Note to Gloria. A poem on the course. Sounds like numbers to me. Oh! Excuse me, Spider. I have a feeling I'm gonna need to write some notes down, so I better partition a couple of pages for this. I can start here. I think. Put a bookmark it for later. I don't have anything. Oh well. Here we go.
It looks like Josiah lent a trivet to someone, but I can't make out to whom.
I still hear that purring cat. Guess I won't be able to look at that book. Letters! K E E N O M A R, and the other two I'll have to find out. I don't remember coming through this way.
Oh, a miniature golf course. Swell.
Sweet! Please insert 10 coins. Nice! Mini golf was always something my grandfather did. And me too. Three strokes under par, it's an albatross. Birdie! I'm not even gonna try to put it through that hole. I almost always miss. Impressive, it's an eagle. What? What's this? Whoa! A hole in one! Not hard enough. And that's par.
I hit it too hard. I hit it too hard.
That's okay.
I did it!
Another par. Ooh. 10 strokes under the total par. Nice! Make par for the course and win a prize. That's what I need to find the puzzle.
A little toy pony.
Cute! Oh! I better put this back. Oh, it already took the club. Oh, there's the bridge. I think. Here we go. Better take the car into town and pick up those papers like Carson wanted me to.
That car I saw before is gone. Hello, I'm looking for Jim Archer.
Right through that door. Hello! Are you Nancy Drew?
Yes, are you Mr. Archer?
Yes, ma'am. Jim Archer. I'm founder, president, manager, and just about everything else you can name when it comes to this fine enterprise.
I hear that some businesses aren't doing so well these days.
Ever since the stock market crashed, one business after another has closed, including banks. President Hoover keeps saying that a recovery is just around the corner, but you have to wonder.
Some people say we're headed for a depression.
Well, that kind of pessimism is not only misguided, it's pointless. Thinking ahead and taking action, that's what we businessmen should be doing right now. And I'm happy to report that we're doing just fine, thank you. Excuse me. Main Street Bank, Jim Archer speaking. No, I don't. I'm sorry, but... Yes, I know, but... All right, then just bring it by.
He doesn't look too happy.
Sorry for the interruption. How can I help you?
Before I continue, I just want to point out that Hoover was infamously known as the do-nothing president. Promised a lot of things, didn't actually do nothing about them.
Do you happen to know whether the jewelry Emily inherited from her mother was insured?
Well, I know for a fact that it was not. Why?
Because someone snuck into the inn today and stole it.
Oh, no. I heard there'd been a fire in the kitchen, but when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? I told Gloria not to let that policy lapse.
Did Gloria always rely on you for business advice?
Sometimes. You see, I have experience in the law as well as accounting, but in this case, she wouldn't listen to me. She felt that since Josiah Crowley would be leaving her a large sum of money when he died, or so she thought, paying to insure her jewelry just wasn't necessary.
How well did you know Josiah Crowley?
Well enough for him to name me executor of his will. An executor is the person who makes sure the terms of a will are carried out.
Did he leave you anything?
He'd given me the impression that I would be well taken care of when he passed on, too. But when I finally read his will, it all went to top him.
Where did Josiah keep his will?
He'd hidden it in a chest of drawers in his house. It took me months to find it. When he named me executor, he said he'd tell me where it was hidden when the time was right, whatever that meant.
How did Josiah die?
He was sitting in the public library reading when apparently his heart just decided it was time to stop.
What was he reading?
His favorite book, The Make-Up Secrets of Lon Chaney.
Sounds like Josiah was a thing for theater. Okay, I've already read the books. I know he had a thing for theater. He loved it.
The will you found in Josiah's house. Is it possible that Josiah didn't really write it?
Well, the thought that it could be a forgery did cross my mind. But an expert verified that the will had been typed on Josiah's typewriter and signed in Josiah's hand.
But Richard Topham lived in Josiah's house. He had access to his typewriter, and he could have copied his signature.
As far as the law is concerned, the matter is closed, Miss Drew.
But it's possible that Josiah's real will is still out there. Are you sure he never gave you any clue as to where he'd hidden his will?
Whenever I asked him, he said he'd tell me when the time is right. Although, he got a safe deposit box here about 3 years ago.
Maybe that's where his real will is.
Topham has tried to claim its contents, but he can't find the key.
Maybe he knows the real will could be in there, only he wants to destroy it.
Now, Miss Drew, I wouldn't go jumping to any conclusions.
I just gotta say, it's easy to forge just about any document if you can, copy somebody's signature very well. Or even their handwriting. If you can copy a person's handwriting, you can almost get away with anything. So, if you want something that can't be forged, sign it with your thumbprint. The only way anybody else can copy it is if they hacked off your thumb. And that's really difficult to replace. Take my advice, Quids.
How well do you know Jane Willoughby? You know, Emily's guardian?
Not well at all. Met her once or twice. Seemed a little flighty.
In other words, she's an airhead.
What was Emily's mom like?
Had a good head on her shoulders. Friendly, too. Having a big slice of blueberry pie at the Lalakin was always a real treat. It'd be nice if family could carry on the tradition, but times are just too tough. If she's smart, she'll sell before the bills start piling up.
I guess I'll be going.
Give my best to Emily.
I want a pie. And earlier this evening, I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and I got killed a lot by somebody named
Where did you get this
Oreo
clock?
Milk.
Josiah Crowley gave it to me. It stopped keeping time the minute he walked out the door.
That receipt I found outside the inn. I wonder if the key it refers to is the one to this clock. Who's Clara?
Clara Pickford is this lonely old woman who comes in here every once in a while. Took a shine to me for some reason. Insisted on giving me that picture.
To Jim Archer, my ace in the hole. That sounds like a golf term. Maybe that's Josiah Crowley in disguise. He did do makeup stuffs. Okay.
Something I can do for you?
Well, my name's Nancy Drew, and my father said
Say no
that...
more. You're here to pick up some papers. They're in that envelope.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tubby's National
Say,
Telegrams.
is that your roadster out there?
Yes, it is. Did I park somewhere I shouldn't have?
No, it's just that my regular driver never showed up today, so I've got no way to deliver all these telegrams. How would you like to earn some extra cash?
You mean you want me to deliver them for you?
You've got a car, you're trustworthy, or at least your father thinks you are, so what do you say? I'll pay you 25 cents each time you complete a delivery. And you might even get some tips.
Okay, sure.
Great, you're hired. Here, deliver this to Seymour out at Blenheim Nursery. Come back when you're done and I'll pay you and give you another telegram to deliver.
Great. See you in a little while.
You get a quarter for every telegram you deliver, I think. I know I'm... Whoa! Holy cow! Literally.
Hello, I've got a telegram for Seymour.
Just leave it on the desk there. I'd, tip you, but as you can see, my hands are filthy.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to doll up some of my plants before this guy named Mr. Martin comes in. He's a big cheese at some oil company, and I'm hoping he... Ow!
Did that plant just bite you?
It did kind of feel that way.
I think I'll be going now. Bye!
Okay, deliver that telegram, picked up the papers. Don't really have anything else to do while I'm out here. yet. So I might as well return to the lilac inn. I won't do any of the telegraphs things on screen unless people want me to do it. I better check some things off the list. On the town.
I'm finished with that. Check. That's done. Can't check that off yet. I'm finished with that. Can't check that off yet.
Oh.
That's done. I'm finished with that. Check.
Oh, Nancy, I'm afraid there's been more trouble.
Trouble?
It's Emily. Oh, this is silly. I'm her guardian. I should just make her sell this place. She's only 17, for Pete's sakes. She should be out meeting boys and going to parties, not trying to run a business.
Miss Willoughby, what happened?
Just go ask her, and make her tell you everything.
Jane told you, didn't she?
Not really.
That picture on the wall over there, I saw it move. I was just sitting here and it moved all by itself. I saw it move, I really did. Last week, a book fell off the shelf for no reason. And before that, I heard these weird noises. And almost every day I hear a voice, like a whisper, coming out of nowhere. Jane thinks it's nerves, but I don't want to talk about this. Did you see Jim Archer?
I'm afraid I don't have very good news.
The jewelry wasn't insured?
No, but I do have some good news, sort of.
Shh! Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Shh! Nothing. I'm going to have to sell the inn, aren't I?
You know, it's possible, just possible, that the will that was found was not the will Josiah wrote.
You mean he may have left us money after all? No, that's wishful thinking. And I refuse to get my hopes up again because they'll probably just get dashed again. Listen, I feel bad enough that you drove all the way out here for nothing. Maybe you should just go home.
Would you mind if I stayed for a while?
No, but I really don't feel like being sociable right now. There's nothing for you to do.
I'd like to see if Josiah hid a second will somewhere.
What are you? Some kind of Sam Spade?
Well, just because I've never solved a mystery before doesn't mean I can't. Anyway, there's no harm in trying, right? Who knows? I might turn out to be good at it.
Be my guest.
Did Josiah ever say anything about hiding his will somewhere?
No, but he was always hiding stuff. I know because he was always writing reminders to himself about how to find it. But whenever the subject of his will came up, he'd just say he was happy knowing we were going to be happy when he passed on. Time will tell. That's all he'd say.
What was your mother's middle name?
Lois. Why?
Oh, just curious.
Nancy, you're a bad liar.
Is the clock in the parlor the one Josiah gave you?
Yes. I don't know why he gave it to us. It's never worked, and nobody can open it to find out why.
Do you have any idea where Josiah may have hidden a safe deposit box key?
He could have hidden it anywhere. He always said his favorite hiding place was right under people's noses.
I'll be back in a little bit.
You're the bee's knees.
I don't know about that.
What could have made this picture move?
Well, it's up right now.
So, what did Emily say? Did she tell you about the pictures and the voices?
How long has this been going on?
For about 2 weeks, I guess. You know what? I'll bet it's me. I'll bet it finally hit Emily that I'm just not Gloria and I never will be, and that running this place is always gonna be all up to her. And it was just more than her poor mind could bear.
What did the sheriff say when you called him about the stolen jewels?
He said since nobody got robbed at gunpoint or anything, coming out here again just didn't seem necessary. Said it sounded to him like the jewelry had just been misplaced. You see, well, it only felt fair to tell him about Emily's, delicate state of mind.
Have you met Richard Topham?
Yeah, I've had the displeasure of meeting that quack.
Somehow he knew who I was before he even saw me.
He came over while they were putting out the fire today. Asked me who you were, and I was so frazzled at the time I told him. I don't usually give that crackpot the time of day.
Does everybody around here feel that way about him?
Not everybody. Like that circus fella said, there's a sucker born every minute. Me? I think ESP is a lot of J-U-N-K.
Does the miniature golf course that's out back belong to the inn?
No, that was Josiah Crowley's. Way I hear, he built it himself.
Was it open to the public?
Nope, it was just his own private little course. Can you imagine? Wish I had money to throw around like that.
Where did that barred bounce game that's in the parlor come from? Do you know?
Emily says Josiah Crowley brought it in one day and just left it. Said it was so guests, as in him, would have something to do while they waited for a table.
Well, I'll talk to you later.
You betcha.
I gotta admit, it is a bit of a time waster. Unless you actually do need it to solve a puzzle. Okay. Next word is pony. And finally, Gloria's middle name. L-O-I-S. Yay! Huh. Dominoes. I hope that doesn't reset later.
I wonder what goes here.
Maybe... Yep. These will take up less space in my inventory after a while. Grass beds. Nice. Just happened to think there's a little sign here. I used to have a game like this when I was a kid called Codebreaker. Oh, yes. unsettled. I'm kidding. I'm gonna take this back. I didn't know it continued. I thought I'd have to start all over. Now that I know this. A yellow. One red. Pretty sure I know where it is too. One green. Aha! Red.
Interesting.
One, 2, 4, 2, 8, 2, 7.
Something about this clock reminds me of the poem I saw at the mini golf course.
Okay. Of course, it's another mirror. Put it on this thing. I want to pick that up.
Can't check that off yet. Check. Can't check that off till it's done.
Alright, alright.
Looks like this lever opens the couch. From the looks of those lanterns, I'm not the only one who's been down here recently. An old piggy bank. Swell, $1. This piggy bank looks like it's been here for a long time.
Who smashes a piggy bank and just leaves it? Oh boy.
I wonder if those tiles are supposed to make a picture.
record. Nice.
Guess I better not leave the lights on. Jeepers, that sounds like Richard Tubb. This door must open right into his living room.
Go, good kitty.
Guess I better not leave the lights on.
What's cooking?
Well, I'll talk to you later.
Bye now.
I think that's all I'm gonna be able to fit in for one video. So, thank you all for joining me, and you will see me in the next time, and we will continue this run. This is TheNekoMimiGamer, signing out. Hey my peeps, this is TheNekoMimiGamer, and thank you for sticking around on my YouTube video. If you liked what you see, why don't you check out my personal website? You can find out a little about myself on the About tab. You can go to my blog for any exclusive posts that you don't find on any other social media site. You can check out the DeviantArt tab for all of my favorite artworks, or all of my artworks in general. If you have any suggestions of what you'd like to see on my channel, or if you'd like to just provide feedback, or send me a personal message, click on Contact, and you can email me directly. You can also check out the Roleplay tab for any of the characters that you may want to find interesting. And whatever you do, don't forget to scroll down, because I have a live Chatango chat room right here. You can set anonymously, or you can create a nickname, or you can also log in and talk to me yourself. And I might even add you to my friends list. I also have icons here, so you can check out my social media site, and you can also click here to donate to my PayPal account. But you don't have to if you don't want to. I just throw it there because. Anyway, see you all next time. This is TheNekoMimiGamer, signing out.